Gentlemen, we got all the boys. We got all the gentlemen here.
Hold on it.
Are we live now? Are we properly
We're live. We're live.
And I jumped the gun. All right. Wow, this is scuffed. How we doing tonight, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Four Corners Podcast. It is going to be a doozy tonight. Strength of schedule is what we are discussing tonight, and there's a lot to get into as it pertains to the league as a whole. We're going to hit you guys with our predictions for our teams. Probably going to talk some shit because, let's be honest, that's what we do for half of these streams. And we're going to give you kind of who got fucked, who got a great go with the schedule, and man, it's going to be a good one. As always, my wonderful co-hosts, Trent over here, Ender down here, and then Anthony with Music City Air over there. It's going to be one hell of a stream. So how you guys doing? Let's kind of go around the circle real quick. We'll go to Ender and then just kind of run it counterclockwise or clockwise, I think. Yeah, it's clockwise. Ender, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good today. How about you?
Not bad. Anthony, how you feeling?
You know, it's a great day to be alive on a Friday night or what. It's a great time to be alive.
True. Trent, how we doing today, bud?
We are living, so that's good.
We are in fact living. We here. So here we go. So ESPN does have a kind of compiled. I think I can present this actually. Wait a second. Share screen. We can do this. Yo.
How do I?
Yo. All right. We're gonna bring this up. I think Anthony, you may have to authorize this here. I don't know if it's sharing properly on stream. This is our first time using StreamYard as a quartet. So I think Anthony might, or not Anthony, Trent might have to allow me to. Yes, there we go. We're cooking. So here we go. Every team's strength of schedule. How we doing tonight, everybody? Thank you all for poking in.
Not to plug my channel or anything, but I am live on my channel for the first time.
Exactly, and we got everybody in the description down below.
And we
so
have
these, yeah, and we got them on screen. So here we go. Strength of schedule for everybody. It is clear, and this is easiest to hardest. All right. Cleveland, New Orleans, Cincy got off easy. I will say that right now. Atlanta, Indy at 5, Detroit, Houston, Tennessee at 8, Baltimore at 9, Philly at 10, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Dallas at 13, Pittsburgh, San Fran, Giants, Commanders, Broncos at 18, Super Bowl champions Seahawks at 19, Rams at 20, Jets at 21, Vikings at 22, Panthers at 23, Chargers at 24, Bills at 25, Raiders at 26, and then you got the Pats, Chiefs, Packers, Cardinals, Dolphins, Bears. There's a lot. There's a lot we can talk about here, but I think we just kind of play ring around the rosy with everyone. We'll go easiest to hardest in this roll of schedules here. So, Ender, you're up first with the Colts schedule. Who are we playing? Kind of, what are we looking like right here? We're gonna kind of let you go for a minute here, but what do you got? What do you make of Indy's schedule, man? Tell us.
Our schedule is surprisingly easy this year. I see our floor being 8 and 9, and our ceiling being even higher. The only issue I have with our schedule right now is we have a very rough start to our schedule. Followed with the Ravens, followed by Kansas City, then the Texans. And the only games I can see us relatively losing are the Texans games, the Jaguars at Jacksonville, because we never win at Jacksonville.
You are not winning in Jacksonville.
No. That is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. And I'm iffy on if we can beat the Eagles or not.
Maybe at full strength.
Maybe at full strength if Daniel Jones can stay fully healthy. But as my floor, I have 8 and 9. As a ceiling, 13 and 4.
Oh,
my midpoint is 10 and 7.
Okay. So all right. So we'll kind of make this the kind of the formula. Give me 2 games that you are probably the most concerned about.
The Texans for week 3, and Jaguars for Week 8.
That's fair. That is fair because you guys can't win in Jacksonville, right?
No, and Texans defense is like
And
smacking
the
a brick wall.
Or if I'm you, I'm less worried about that Week 3 matchup because that one's in Indianapolis, and I'm more worried about the one later in the year on November 19th.
I'm worried about them both because we seen what happened the last time we played Texans and Lucas Oil.
Mm-hmm.
The field goal that wasn't a field goal, but was a field goal.
Yeah, there is.
The two
It
games
does.
I'm not worried about is the Titans game. We'll beat the Titans.
We're already getting cooking here. We got two AFC South rivals here in the chat. It's gonna be spicy with these two. I'm kind of excited to see the shots going. So if you had to give me a final prediction for the Colts, you gave me a floor, you gave me a ceiling, you gave me the middle ground. Where do you think they land?
I think 10-7. Because our
10-7?
draft was actually really good. We got the pieces we needed. We have Daniel Jones, who should be back Week 1. I think 10-7 might be where we land.
That's fair enough. Also, big hello to everybody popping into the chat here, whether you're on the short stream or the landscape. Happy to see everybody in here. We're talking about football tonight. It's a good Friday night for it. So again, appreciate each and every one of you for popping in. Don't forget to like and sub. Helps us.
Like and sub, everyone.
Helps us out big in the algorithm. Especially Ender's getting Hoosier Sports Talk off of the ground. So that's really cool. Everybody is tagged in my description. I believe we are all tagged in everybody's descriptions here. So any final thoughts on the Colts schedule before we move on?
For being as mid as we were last year, I'm glad they went easy on us this year. Maybe we can actually have a chance to go to the playoffs and I can actually see some postseason action.
Fair enough. Yeah. So now we'll go around the round table and kind of drop our predictions for the Colts here. I'll let Anthony get some vitriol out and go first. His prediction for the Colts, and we are going to try and keep this relatively unbiased.
I'll keep it 2 minutes because it'll be real simple. I know we haven't done this in a while where we got all four of us in here. And I know Ender has had some time to think. I figured during that time off, he would find some common sense, but obviously he hasn't being a Colts fan. So he does his high ceiling is 13-4. I say more like
we'll see you, Kelly. Thanks for popping in.
10-7, especially coming off a torn Achilles with Daniel Jones. I don't see it. They do get lucky with strength of schedule being like one of the easiest. That's their saving grace. That will keep Chris Ballard's job for another year.
So they've got Cleveland on the schedule late in the year. They've got the Giants. They have the Dolphins. Commanders are on there, although the Commanders might be better this year. Yeah. Jaden Daniels might be less hurt.
But yeah, I give their ceiling about 10-7, their floor about maybe like 6-11. But I feel like they'll lean towards higher in that 10-7 area, but more of a 9-8. Just I could definitely see them going to a real slow start, especially with that Achilles injury with Daniel Jones. But I could see them later in the year picking it up and barely scraping by, maybe 8-9, 9-8 around there. Just my biggest. If they had a healthy Daniel Jones, like say 2 years removed from the Achilles, I would give Ender a little bit more grace. But with that torn Achilles, I don't see it.
Trent, what are your thoughts? Colts schedule.
Sorry, I'm still learning all this tech stuff here. So
that's fair enough.
Honestly, I think the Colts have a ceiling of about 10 wins, especially with Daniel Jones gone for, I think, most of the season. I have them maybe at their floor like 6 wins. I'm sorry, Ender.
Heartbroken.
I love you. But I just don't see – I feel like they're a team that got worse and not better.
Say, because you lost Michael Pittman, and he was the number one go-to guy. Although now you do kind of compensate a little more just with Tyler Warren likely getting more targets. Oh boy. So I have a couple of things that I'm concerned with about the Colts myself. Who is your starting quarterback week 1? Because it's not going to be Daniel Jones off of the Achilles tear, right? He's still working back from that rehab wise. It's probably who? Riley Leonard?
Nah, Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers ain't coming back to do all that.
I
So, like-
don't think they have.
They
announced
probably
who
haven't
our week one is
announced
gonna be.
they haven't announced it, but like realistically speaking, it's
Realistically
probably Riley
speaking,
Leonard.
It's either Riley Leonard or Anthony Richardson, who's still on our bench.
I'm
Yeah,
willing.
It is.
I'm willing to say it's Leonard, and let's go on that limb, and let's say it's Riley Leonard, right? You only have a couple of games of film to work off of, and really only one where he kind of popped off at the very end of the year. And I do have to play the sample size card here. We know just about nothing about Riley Leonard, right? I'm concerned with him having less to work with on the offense. I do like what Indy did defensively, especially in the draft. It is a brutal first stretch to start the year because you're gonna be you've got Baltimore in your house week 1, and then you're looking at Kansas City in Arrowhead, Houston, Washington, who I'm going to assume I'm going to assume they're going to be better, but I don't know by how much necessarily. Pittsburgh, just to round out what's going to be a really, really competitive first 5 games. That's going to, if they can come out of that 2-3, I would be kind of shocked. That could be a 1-4 stretch you're looking at right there. Maybe you get going back half of the season. I think it's a floor of 5 wins. I think it's a ceiling 9 or 10. I'm kind of in that range. I just think that not starting Daniel Jones to start the year for you guys is going to really, really kill your season here.
Well, the reason I'm giving myself a floor of 8 and 10 is because I believe after everything I've read, they said they want to start Daniel Jones week 1.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins.
That's
Everything-
Yeah. Quarterback starting week 1 after a big Achilles tear does not have a good recent track record right now.
And I'm looking at this. Oh, sorry.
But if
Go
we
ahead.
can just get past the gauntlet that is the first 3 games, and hopefully Daniel Jones is better by then, I
I'm
can
gonna-
easily do well.
I'm gonna rock an 8 and 9 prediction here. Like I think that first couple of weeks, and because you're either gonna have Daniel Jones at like 30%, or it's Riley Leonard, who you don't know what you have at this point. I just there's not a ton of benefit of the doubt that I can give you early in the season with those being the circumstances. Like I think realistically, I
Wow.
like 9 and 8 ish. That's
Wow.
wild. That's wild. That is a crazy take.
I promise it's not one of my other accounts.
That is
Out
my
of the 4 teams here,
Only
only
have
one of
the
us.
Titans.
Out of the 4 teams here, only one of us don't have
In
a
a
Lombardi
world,
trophy.
are Philly and Denver not at least making wild cards next year? That's crazy.
The smartest fan I ever know. He's my favorite.
He's a Seahawks.
So I do gotta say something with the Colts. I was looking at their schedule. I could easily see them going 0-10 to start. Not getting their first win until week 10.
Who?
The Colts.
Excuse me?
I could easily see the Colts not getting their first win till week 10. And that's like worst case scenario. Do I expect that? No. But I could easily see how weak their schedule is to begin with, not getting their first win until week 10 against the Dolphins.
We are not losing against the
Wow.
Titans at Lucas Oil.
I don't know, but I'm looking at Colts, Ravens. That's a loss. Chiefs, Colts. That could easily be a loss. Texans, that could be a loss. Commanders, we saw them what they were 2 years ago. Colts,
JD
Titans.
Daniels can
Hey,
carve up defenses.
things have happened crazy. The Titans. Let's just say Robert Saleh's never had a team that was never worse than top 10. I'm just saying that. And the Vikings, that they have Kyler Murray. The Jaguars, you guys never beat them it's in Orlando this year. Then you guys finally have the Dolphins.
Defense or top 10 in the standings?
Top 10 in the top 10 defense.
Okay.
Okay. Now that we have a little more context,
So I'm just saying,
I
like,
don't
if
think
those-
they're. I don't think they're going to be that bad.
I don't see us losing against the Commanders. I don't see us losing against the Titans.
Oy.
But I'm just saying, worst case scenario, I can
Worst
easily-
case,
Worst
it
case
could
scenario,
fall
if we
apart.
go 0-9 to start the season, Chris Ballard's getting fired. So is Shane Steichen.
to be
Anthony,
honest,
are you willing to put something on this?
I've already told you guys I would.
Are you willing to put some like a punishment on your 0-10 prediction?
I'm not banking on 0-10. Like, I promise you, I'm not.
He's just
I'm
lining
just
out
saying-
worst case scenario.
I'm just lying. Worst case scenario. You
If the
have
Colts
got
go 0-9 to start their season, I will put my character in full Titans gear.
perfect.
I can live with that.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
you guys
but-
see them be streaky,
but-
though.
But if Anthony loses that, we'll throw a Colts hat on him.
Yeah,
how
I'll
about
wear a
that?
Colts hat. I don't care.
Okay.
At the Colts, let's say if the Colts beat the Titans the first game up, I'll wear a Colts hat. I don't care.
Okay.
That's
That'll
fine.
work.
But no, I'm like, do I really think though? Hi, Steve. Do I really
Yeah.
think they're going to go 0-9? Realistically, no. I could easily see them beating the Commanders. I could see them getting like a sneaky win against like the Vikings or the Titans. But realistically, worst case scenario, if everything was going to hit the fan, I could easily see them losing 9 games. I would love to see that happening.
I will put a wager on week 6 for us. If the Colts beat the Titans, I want to see you in a Colts hat. If the
I'll
Titans
wear-
beat the Colts at Lucas Oil, I will wear full Titans gear on my character.
Perfect.
Okay.
I like
I
that.
think
All
it's
right.
better than the 0-10 thing.
No,
I like that bet more. Just
Yeah.
whoever
The-
wins
the
the
Colts-
first matchup.
With the Colts schedule, the only games I can see us easily losing are the Houston Texans game, the Jags game,
Jags in Florida.
and I see us losing at Lucas Oil too.
That is a
unfortunately.
good that is a good point though. I will give this to our commenter here. The Broncos are historically set up to not be super great next year, just on historical precedent. And I do acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But the games I'm iffy on are the Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Eagles.
Mm.
Those are the 3 games I'm really iffy on. That if we have either a crumb of a chance of winning.
Alrighty.
That's fair. Anthony, we kick this over to you for the Titans
We're gonna go
schedule,
17-0.
my friend.
I got a ceiling of 17-0, and I got a floor of 16-1.
Oh.
I'm just playing. No, the Titans. After I'm looking at their schedule right now. They got. They can easily. I say their ceiling this year is 10-7. And that's like I'm talking ceiling. And floor, I do see them having a floor of 5-12 this
Mhm.
year.
Okay.
I'm kind of just gonna skim. I'll be really fast with it. We got Jets, Titans, Eagles, Titans. I think the Titans will get week 1, lose week 2 to the Eagles. New York, I can see that going anyway, but with the Giants defense, I can see us easily losing that one.
And that is
I-
in New York.
Yeah. Ravens, we're gonna lose that one. Texans will lose that one. Colts, I think the Titans will pick that one up. Browns, we can win that one. Bengals, we've all, depending on Joe Burrow's health, if he's healthy, I easily see us losing. But if Joe Burrow's injured like he usually is, we'll get that win. Jags, will beat them. Dallas, we're going to lose. Jags, we're going to lose again. Commanders, I don't think they got better at all. I see Titans winning. Raiders, we can win. Steelers in December or January, we're going to beat them, and Texans will lose. I easily think we could go 10-7, ceiling wise. Floor, more 5-12. If I'm gonna really mix it up and really think of what they'll actually do, maybe 8-9 is where I have them this year. A huge improvement over the last couple of years. Actually having a competitive defense, but we still have a lot of holes, especially on the interior offensive line at center and right guard, and also in defense. We still need. We just have a lot of young pieces. We have Anthony Hill Jr. Got to represent. Love my favorite pick out of the draft. Who's young. We still just got a lot of young pieces. I say we're a draft away from actually being playoff contenders.
Mhm.
But realistically, floor 5-12, ceiling 10-7. We'll probably hit 8-9 this year.
Okay.
All right.
I will let our other AFC South resident go first here. Again, we are trying to keep this as unbiased as possible, but I know there's some shit talk between you guys. But Ender, what are you thinking about the Titans schedule here?
Well, with the Titans,
He's like, I don't want to say nothing nice about the Titans.
Hey, Anthony
I
gave
see-
you your grace.
I see a floor of like 4-12.
I think it'd be 4-13 in this case, but I see 5-12 or 4-13.
4-13. That's what I could see them realistically getting for a floor. Ceiling, maybe 8-9.
Ceiling?
I'm not gonna say anything nice about Titans, man.
This guy. Get a load of
This
this
guy.
guy.
8-9 is enough to win the AFC South, says
What did
says
Anthony-
our commenter.
What did Anthony have his ceiling as?
10-7.
I could see them going 10-7 if they actually improved.
How are you able to see all the comments, Miles? That's pretty cool.
They pop up on like there's
Yeah,
a
they pop up on the
comments.
side.
Yeah,
The comment
we're
Like,
able
you
to
can see it on the sidebar.
Oh, okay, so that's how I'm seeing it.
But
8-9 realistic. I don't think 8-9, just to like respond to that, I don't think 8-9's enough to win the AFC South when the Titans have been the way they, or not the Titans, the Texans have been the way they've been, just like
No.
consistently in like that 11, like 10 to 12 win range. I don't think 8-9's enough to win the South. They carry the like rotting corpse of CJ Stroud year after year.
But in the middle, what I realistically see them going is either 8-9 or 9-8.
For the Titans.
Yeah, I see them maybe scraping by with a winning season.
That's Titan way.
I can see it. I can see it.
They can join
I-
us in being just mid enough.
Mid.
That's the Titan way. That's all I gotta say. Since I've been a Titans fan, I've seen a lot more like 9-7, 8-8, 9-8 seasons.
Oh yeah, you had Jeff Fisher as the head coach.
Jeez Louise, that was terrible.
To be
Well,
fair though, you
We're not
gotta
gonna
give
talk about our head coaches.
some level of credit to Jeff Fisher, because didn't he get like a 10-win season out of a Vince Young that threw like 9 touchdowns that year?
Mm-hmm. And we got the number 1 seed with the corpse of Kerry Collins too,
That's
Who-
right.
who was
I
like
forgot
37
about
years
that.
old.
Yeah, Kerry Collins didn't do shit. Was that Chris Johnson like
Johnson.
2,000 yards?
That was his 2,000-yard season. he
Dude,
would
Chris
have had
Johnson was a monster.
he would have had the record if they didn't do a holding on the run. He had like a 87-yard touchdown, about to break the record, about to win. Then we went into the divisional round. We were cooking, and the Baltimore Ravens did a dirty ass hit on Chris Johnson and took
They
him
didn't
out.
even,
And we
no, they
lost.
didn't even, it wasn't even a dirty hit. They just basically, like, when they tackled him, like, one player just bent him backwards. And
Oh.
He got hurt his back, and he was never the same after that.
Uh,
I
But
can't talk shit about head coaches. We have just Saturday as our head coach at one point.
Jeez.
true.
Just to provide a little bit of context too on why I think the Titans will improve a lot. Realistically, other than the Texans, everybody else in the AFC South didn't get better. Jacksonville didn't get better.
Jacksonville
Colt.
got worse.
Colts didn't get better just because we don't know. Daniel Jones was a question mark before.
That is true.
And now with his Achilles injury, we don't know what he's going to look like. We saw the way Aaron Rodgers was before he had his Achilles. Granted, he was older, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers was leagues above Daniel Jones, and now he's come back as like an average quarterback. And Daniel Jones being an above average, now having an Achilles, and realistically, I don't know. I wish him all the luck, anything to keep the Colts average to where they can't get a quarterback. But that's just my opinion.
See, what I see with the Colts is we didn't do good offensively, but our defensive has improved a lot. We plugged a couple holes that we had in defense with the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're going to be mid 8-9, 9-8 maybe.
Say your guys' offense is basically going to run through Taylor and Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Like, On Tennessee's schedule, real quick, I do think it lines up relatively favorable for them. Like, they do have some matchups I like. Jets at home. The Jets are still a mess. Like, let's be honest here. I really liked their first round though, but the Jets are still going to be a really raw and young team. I think that's going to be really interesting right there. Philly's going to be an interesting game for sure. Giants could really swing either way, but like they do get some like solid pickups. Cleveland they play. I don't trust Cincinnati right like at all. I don't feel like they've fully done enough at this point, and it really depends on Joe Burrow. Jacksonville actively got worse. I don't think Jacksonville's going to be as good this year as they were last year. Washington's going to be a winnable game just because I think they're still rebuilding their defense because it fell apart on them last year, and you could tell. Detroit, kind of the same boat, although they have more pieces defensively. They just kind of tend to get hurt a lot. I don't know how that works out, but then like you have a revamped Raiders, you get this kind of stagnant Steelers late in the year. I don't think Tennessee's going to get swept in the division either, like by anybody. I could see them splitting every series. Like I kind of like what the Titans are cooking right now. I'm gonna keep it a buck. On paper, I kind of like what they're cooking. I think a floor is like just either nothing clicks or not every draft pick hits the way they thought it would, and then it just kind of falls apart. Like my floor is probably in that like 5-12, 6-11 range. Ceiling, I think I'm kind of with you guys on this though, where like I think we're kind of floating like 9-10 wins for a ceiling. I'm willing to throw them kind of in that like 8-9, 9-8 sphere too. I do think they have a favorable schedule to work with, but I think we'll know more, I think, once we hit the preseason, and maybe we revisit this kind of in the preseason bye week, just after seeing everyone for like 15 combined minutes. But I am willing right now on paper to maybe toss them to 8-9, Bowen, for now. I think they've still got a lot of holes, but I think they're going to remind a lot of people of like the 2015 Raiders. Like scrappy, not winning a ton, but they're competitive. And I think for the Titans, that's a huge step forward. Trent, what do you got, bud?
I agree. I think that 8 and 9. Oh come on. I think they're just good enough to be scrappy in these games. I just don't. I even think they have a chance to be scrappy against the Eagles. They won't win the game, but I think it's going to be a scrappy game because the Eagles are going to be trying to figure out what they're doing on offense. And Tennessee, I think they're going to have a pretty solid year. Florida will probably be about 5 wins. Sailing about 8, 9, maybe 10.
I think the general consensus is Tennessee is going to fall somewhere between 8 and 10.
If the Titans win 17 games next year, I'm going to college football exclusively.
17 wins should be enough to lose to the Hawks in the Super Bowl. True. Alrighty. So that's going to swing us over to you, Trent, who Iceman does not like. I have to guess we got an alt account in here. Maybe not.
Iceman.
But I am going to toss this to you. How are you feeling about Philly's schedule, man? Like, kind of, just give us the synopsis here, man.
There's a lot of travel time. 22.
It does happen for a coast team.
We also, I think we win our first 3. I think the Bears regress. I think the Bears regress this year.
Really?
Yeah. I don't trust Chicago.
I mean, to be fair, right now, Chicago, the Bears can't even decide where they want to build their next stadium.
That's fair.
I always feel like Chicago has this really weird year where they're good, and then they just fall flat. So until they prove me wrong, then I have to.
We got some jokers in chat.
Rams. I think we lose that game.
I could see it.
Jacksonville's a hit or miss. Jacksonville.
I think you guys win that game. I have so little faith in Jacksonville after this offseason. Like Jacksonville got, like, you can't even argue that they got worse, is my thing. Like, I am not extending Jacksonville a lot of grace after the offseason and the draft that they had.
I think the only games that we have a possibility to lose, I think we lose one to Washington. We do that every year. We lose to Dallas on Thanksgiving.
Oof.
And we lose to Seattle, and we lose to the Rams. I think those are like the four. And then we might lose to New York. I don't think so.
Sprinkle a random New York loss in as a little treat.
If we rest the starters, yeah. So maybe about like 12 wins is their ceiling. If they have a really bad season where Jalen Hurts just wets the bed and the offense doesn't click, I think we can lose about. I think we could go like 7 wins, 6 wins.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's their floor to me,
in a much improved division, that is true.
It's
What
a
do you
much.
think about the game with the Colts?
I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be who he was last year. I think it was a bad signing. I think it was the Colts were a team desperate to get a quarterback. And I think Daniel Jones is going to regress.
I don't. Well, see, that's what everyone said when we signed Daniel Jones, is that he was going to regress, and then he pulled off a 8-2 season before getting hurt.
That's true. I don't. What's up, Broncos fans?
How we doing, Broncos fan? Let's go,
Woo!
my guy.
Yeah, I just. Give Daniel Jones. I'll give Daniel Jones. I'll see what he's doing by mid-season if he plays early on. If he's not having it by mid-season, then I say that it was a bad signing.
Colts are gonna win the Super Bowl. Trust on Def Not Nalt's account. Jarchoco, I'll be getting into Denver's schedule here in just a minute because it's a rough go.
Yeah.
So, like, my opinion of the Eagles, I gotta be honest. I'm looking at their schedule. Their ceiling, I think, is 11-6. I think their floor could easily be around like 7-10. It all really depends on how Sean Mannion clicks with Jalen Hurts. But with Nick Sirianni. But realistically, I have to give like a middle of the pack, like 10-7 wins, because the Eagles their talent is just way too good for them to regress. I'm not a fan of Nick Sirianni, and I'm not a fan of really Sean Mannion because I feel like he's such a question mark. Everybody is putting all their eggs in a basket with Sean Mannion, where I'm not even sure if he's ever called plays before. Tell me if I'm wrong, TJ. But I'm not high on the Eagles. I really think this is the man.
He hasn't been high on the Eagles all offseason.
I haven't been high. Realistically, I think this is Nick Sirianni's last year, and deservedly so. They're gonna get Mike Tomlin next year. I'm willing to put money on it, but I'm not a fan of Nick Sirianni. I'm just not. And I think realistically, I easily see y'all going worst to first next year, realistically, or worst to third.
First to worst.
Yeah, first to worst.
I can also see them backing into a Super Bowl again.
Exactly. It all depends on.
I hate the Eagles because of that, because they're so up and down that one year they can just be hot garbage and still win like 8 or like 9-10 games, and then the next year they look like juggernauts again, win 14 games and just like coast to a Super Bowl,
and then lose their offensive coordinator.
Realistically, what I'm hoping with the Eagles because you're absolutely right. They could go from first to worst, or they could go absolutely to the Super Bowl. One of the two. And that's what concerns me is the Eagles, out of every single team in the NFL, they're the biggest question marks.
They're just so volatile year to year.
Mm-hmm. And we don't know what they're going to look like. Jeez Louise. This
You're
guy.
just gonna disregard.
I wonder what the odds on that are.
I love Dan Boyle. He's so funny.
I
He was
wanted to
like
say,
one of my first subscribers, and he's been here this whole time.
You're just
I
going
will-
to disregard
Hell yeah.
Riley Leonard. No, what's going to happen is Daniel Jones will get hurt again. We're going to hire an old quarterback. We're going to bring Peyton Manning out
if,
of
if Anthony Richardson wins the NFL MVP, I'll castrate myself. All right.
Oh my god!
calm down,
and
Mike.
demonetized.
Calm down, Mike Vrabel.
Jeez Louise. But yeah, I don't know. The Eagles, compared to everybody, will be the biggest question mark, in my opinion, just because we don't know what Sean Mannion is.
I'm
We're banking on
actually
him.
thinking on Sean Mannion to run a lot of crossing routes and a lot of
Samurai concepts.
I'm hoping that Jalen Hurts starts throwing it to the back. Take Bigsby out of the backfield, throw it in the middle of the field. If he could do that, that would be the best case scenario.
HTS, get your scissors ready. My thing with the Eagles, like I already kind of said my piece. My problem with Philly though is I still feel like they've got too much talent to realistically like choke their way into a losing record, because Vic Fangio is still going to be running that defense. We saw what he kind of did with like potato chips in Denver for those couple of years where like Denver's defense was really good. They just couldn't figure out the quarterback situation. And I couldn't even name you a middle linebacker from that time. I can give you Alex Singleton, and that's about it. And at least their defensive coordinator is too good, but offensively, even without AJ Brown, I still feel like they're too talented to really drop off a cliff super hard. And we saw this last year is the thing. They were awful offensive. They were unwatchable on offense last year, and they still won the East. I don't know how with that offense. And that's the thing. I can't realistically give the Eagles a lower floor than 9 wins because they have so much talent. They're like the Steelers of the NFC,
But
where I can't realistically project them to have a losing record because of how much godforsaken talent is on that team. But it's just a stupid thing year to year where I don't fully know what they're going to be, and I don't think we're going to really know what the Eagles are going to be until week 5. At least offensively, but they still have Saquon Barkley, who I don't think is going to have nearly as rough of a go at it this season as he did last year. You're going to be throwing to Mekhi Lemon. Devontae Smith is still a really good wide receiver too. Who's your guys' tight end? He came back. Yeah, Goddard came back. Your guys' O-line still has at least one more year of gas left in the tank. Like, I can't realistically say that the Eagles are going to win less than 10 games. I don't know that they're going to win more than 12, though. I'm willing to stick them at 11-6.
With the Eagles, again, there's no way I can put them below a 9-win season. The Eagles just have way too much talent. At worst, it's 9 wins. At most, it's 14, 15 wins. But I do see them being a playoff team and possibly a Super Bowl contender if they get lucky enough.
I think
However,
even if they go
things,
9 wins, I think Sirianni fired.
If they go below 9 wins, I'm going to start questioning what's happening in the front office, and they start giving decision making to a fucking magic 8 ball.
I think anything less than 10 wins gets Sirianni fired, though. I think Philadelphia gets to a point with them where they're just sick of it. I mean, they shoved Andy Reid out the door, and Andy Reid was probably their best head coach of all time until technically until Sirianni. Sirianni has rings.
No, maybe
But
that is the
Peterson
Eagles'
also
magic
has-
sauce.
Is just everyone in the city of brotherly love gets angry and they sacrifice a head coach every decade.
They shake a magic 8 ball and they ask, "Are we going to be good this season?"
That Iceman brings up a good point, though,
That's Anthem.
because we are probably going to see the Eagles without AJ Brown drama. And I think Mekhi Lemon's going to be damn good.
And also, too, pending on what I just carry on what Ice Fan's saying. Such a great guy. Such a great guy. He's been one of my loyal followers. Such a great guy. So, to be honest, he's the best guy I've ever heard. Also, too, with the Eagles, there's also been a little bit of rumor mills going on that the Jacksonville Jaguars are very interested in A.J. Brown, are willing to pay up. And they've been putting in rumors that they might trade BTJ to the Eagles. And I think you give BTJ, he had a great rookie season. He had obviously a sophomore slump, but I'm looking at his targets and everything. His targets dropped off in half, and he almost got 1,000 yards. And so if they put BTJ in the Eagles with Mekhi Lemon, with Devontae Smith, who I feel like he's a better talent than A.J. Brown, in my opinion.
Hot take.
And you have that three-headed monster. I could easily see the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl if they get BTJ. I'd much rather the Eagles get a first rounder for next year's draft because that 2028 draft is loaded. Or
you know how we like to wheel it.
Yeah, get a first rounder for next year. They could probably use their picks to trade up and get Jeremiah Smith, who is a dog and probably the generational receiver. I'm just saying, the Eagles. We just it's a question mark until we see who they trade A.J. Brown for. And realistically, Eagles, my boy with Hilltime Sports is going to have amazing content starting June 1st. And,
True.
But he won't win 17 games because, the Titans will. I'm just saying.
No,
just carrying off what I said.
17-0.
No, I do not want 17-0. That's a curse.
You got to blame him.
Oh,
he said
boy.
you're not going to go 17-0, so now the Eagles are going to spite him just to go 17-0.
Oh, boy. Oh, is it my turn?
Broncos.
Holy God,
Broncos.
it's brutal. Yeah, so the drop-off in the thumbnail, everybody gets to see just like what on the thumbnail, you see the outlier. Denver's got the 18th hardest schedule, so it's more middle of the road, which, all right, there's some stuff to get into. Kansas City and Arrowhead has been a notoriously hard matchup for Denver, so week 1 on Monday night, I just don't think we're getting Kansas City at full strength, and there's no telling what that defense is going to be with how they've had to rebuild the secondary at this time. I think Denver wins that. I think they beat Jacksonville. I think they run into 3 very losable games. I could easily see them coming out of the first 5 weeks 2-3. And that's not necessarily to say that Denver's going to be bad, but they just run into a buzzsaw right there. The Chargers always get us once per year, most of the time. But then, but it's like LA week 3, Niners in San Fran week 4. And I'm not saying those games are unwinnable, but it's a brutal stretch. We keep going. It's Seattle in Denver. I easily see Seattle winning that game. I think it could swing either way, but I do think Seattle, just where they are right now and where Denver's still got a couple of holes that do kind of concern me. I don't adore it necessarily. I just think that a lot of these NFC West teams are really, really set up to exploit Denver's weakness defensively. And I think they're all built really well against the run, which I think is going to be something that Davis Webb tries to focus on a lot more next season. I like the idea of JK and Jonah Coleman. RJ Harvey was not great running the ball last year. But I think I do kind of forget about Jalen Waddle being in the mix, and I do think he adds a dynamic element to the Broncos offense that they did not have. I think we're iffy on Evan Ingram right now, though, and I could see a lot of fans chanting to see Justin Joly by this point, or even Caleb Lohner, for all I care. I could easily see Denver coming out of this 3-4, 4-3, like those first probably 8-ish games. Or 7 games. They're beating the Cardinals. Okay, can we all agree that Denver's beating the Cardinals?
I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Okay.
The Cardinals are looking like Super Bowl contenders.
Oh man, the Cardinals are going to be so good next year. I'm quaking in me boots.
They're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Genuinely, it is any given Sunday, but on paper, Arizona is not going to be good this year, and they're starting Jacoby Brissett at quarterback more than likely.
Not necessarily.
Well, okay. Well,
out.
the idea is that Jacoby Brissett probably starts. Yeah, the AFC West is going to be brutal as well. I do think the Raiders are going to be a lot better than they were last year. I just can't count on Kansas City being super great this year because it is going to be Mahomes coming off of the ACL, and I don't know what to make of their defense yet. I truly don't. But like we'll keep it pushing. I do see a world where Denver sweeps Kansas City, genuinely, just because Mahomes he doesn't always play his best against Denver, and Denver does have the coaching continuity at this point that like I do think that I think they play Kansas City really well. They have played KC extremely well, even at full strength, since Sean Payton came into the building. Even in 23, like they broke the streak of KC's like dominance there. And Denver has played KC really, really well, even with an old decrepit Russell Wilson. I think they beat Carolina. I don't know that Carolina's got all of the pieces. They might be in a similar spot to where the Titans are, although I think it's just a different version of that. I still don't know what to think of Bryce Young right now. I don't think anyone does. Raiders, I think the Raiders are going to get Denver, though, in Vegas. I think Denver beats it in Denver. I think the Raiders get them in Vegas. The Raiders are just a way better team. And I really, really, really like Clint Kubiak as a play caller. I think they split that series. I think the Broncos and Chargers split a series. I don't know that the Steelers necessarily did a ton to get super, super better. And Denver's bringing back a lot of continuity too, is something that like I do have to think about. They'll probably beat Miami. The Jets, I do think are going to put up an interesting fight kind of later in the year. But again, Buffalo, I don't feel like Buffalo did enough for me to really want to say that they get revenge on Denver. Maybe they do. I think they get revenge on New England, though. Denver does in New England. I think Bo Nix outplays the hell out of Drake May in that game. And then it's the Chargers week 18. I think realistically, and this is keeping voodoo shit completely out of it. Hey, if you got to go, Sam Pulley, it was great seeing you in here, man. Take it easy.
See ya, buddy.
Take it easy.
Realistically, my favorite commenter, Titans going 17-0. Thanks, Sam Pull.
I think where Denver's floor sits gets a little interesting because I think Denver's almost too well coached, and I think the offense is going to be more dynamic next year. And I'm really excited to see what Bo Nix looks like just as a passer in year 3. And all the medical reports are still saying he's going to be good for training camp. And until that changes, I'm still riding the Bo Nix train hard AF. I think a realistic floor is probably 9 wins. Maybe you just have a lot of games that don't go your way. The 1-score games don't exactly flip your way the way they did last year, and you're playing better teams. But I think the ceiling for this team is still 12, 13 wins in this case. Because I don't see a game that I outright want to write off as a loss. But I do understand that obviously we're not going 17-0. I think realistically, Denver's probably looking at like 11-6. If they win the division, they're probably squeezing into the 3 seed, maybe the 4 seed. Maybe as a wild card, but I don't see a world where Denver completely falls off a cliff. I feel like 10-11 wins is relatively realistic here. Keep going to the playoffs. Good stuff. But I am interested to kind of hear what you guys think here.
I'll go first, or I'll let Ender go.
What's up, Andy?
When it comes to the Broncos, I have their floor set at like 9 wins. I don't see them having a losing season. Their floor, though, I do have set to 11 wins. I don't see Bo Nix coming back as well as he did last year, especially with how his leg is looking.
I just think it's another slow start from Bo, realistically. And I think that factors into kind of like a 2-3 stretch to start the year, 3-4, it kind of in that range. I do think the schedule softens up later in the year.
Yeah, but
a little bit.
Last time I looked at Bo Nix's leg, it was It was rough.
It was looking a little dicey, and I
Yeah.
will jump on that as well.
I have an expectation of them going at least 10-7.
Probably going back. I don't think the AFC is going to be as strong as it was last year.
No, not at all.
Just going into carry on what Andrew was saying, I really do think like the floor is 9-8 for the Broncos. Like
Mhm.
Jar, I'm sorry, I'm gonna call you Jar. I really that ankle looks really bad with Bo Nix. I know they're saying he'll be ready by training camp. Just seeing that photo of his ankle, it looks so bad.
It was
Like,
sketch.
It was.
I do want to throw the nuance of it as someone that has gotten surgery on a broken bone. That shit does come out of surgery swollen as fuck, especially if you're taking it directly after surgery. It's going to be swollen because, like, I don't know how good my camera will pick it up, but like, I got a full scar running down here and here, and my arm was swollen coming out of surgery. But
no.
I see where the panic is because I myself was like, holy shit.
Yeah, because like realistically, the AFC did. Yeah, there's teams that got better, but realistically, I feel like the bottom half of those teams who were bad last year did get better. But from looking at the schedule, Broncos are not playing them. The teams that got worse, like yeah, the Jets got better, but how do you go get better from 0 turnovers? Yeah, you'll get maybe like 5. They don't scare me. Dolphins got worse. Cardinals got worse.
Jags got worse.
Jags got worse. Chiefs, yeah, they got, in my opinion, they got worse with their secondary being depleted. Yeah, they drafted a lot of guys, but at the same time, it's going to be a
they're
really
wild
young.
They're dart throws, and yeah, they are a bunch of young guys back there.
So my ceiling for the Broncos 13-4,
Mhm.
their floor being 9-8. My prediction. I could easily see them going 11-6. It all depends on your biggest foe is going to be the Chargers next year. But I'm not a big fan of Justin Herbert at all.
The Chargers don't scare me as much this year just because Jesse Minter's not there.
Yeah. I feel like their team's going to flip. Their offense is going to be really great, but their defense is going to hit, in my opinion. but yeah, the Broncos, I still think they're Super Bowl contenders coming out of the AFC. I can see them winning and going all the way. I mean, they're a Bo Nix freak injury away from going to the Super Bowl.
They put up a better fight in the Super Bowl than the Pats did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So I think realistically, I'm even leading 12-5 now. I'm thinking about it. It just all depends on how fast they start with Bo and how much that run game or just how much support that defense does with Bo Nix gone or coming back from.
I think a really interesting, like, something that like a lot of us in Broncos country have really thought about is I think Davis Webb is going to run the ball more next year. And I think a big problem, J.K. Dobbins is one of the best backs in the league when he's healthy. The problem is just that he wasn't healthy last year. I think going and getting Jonah Coleman gives them that security blanket to still be able to keep the tracks moving in the running game without J.K. Dobbins. Obviously, R.J. Harvey does this thing out of the backfield as a receiver, but he wasn't great as a runner last year. And I think they addressed a really big need in that kind of RB2A sort of realm where they really needed it. And Jonah Coleman might even open the year as the third down back because he might be one of the better pass blockers out of the running back room. Because that's the only reason that last year somebody like a Tyler Bidet had a job in Denver, and I think we start to get to a point where the quality of these depth players rises a little bit.
Yeah, I still trust that defense. I still trust the Broncos. I still think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Do I think they're going to win it? No. Just from my opinion, the AFC is still wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I can only see there's only 3 teams that realistically I think could go to the Super Bowl. It's going to be the Broncos, Bills, or the Ravens. Just because we know what Jesse Minter is.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust me, I can tell you about a Jesse Minter defense, brother.
So realistically, Broncos. I can see them going 12-5 with the ceiling of 13-4, and I can worst case scenario they flip like the Chiefs did after they win those ones.
And it could be a really down year just if that voodoo comes back to bite us. I think absolutely train goes off of the tracks. Everything is on fire type of year, like where that voodoo does come back. Maybe we're looking at 7-10.
No, I still, even whenever the
even
Chiefs
with all that, you could still see like 8-9, 9-8.
I see you guys realistically going 10-7, just because. Only reason why I say that is we look at history. After the Chiefs had that 1 year where they were just winning those one-score games, like how in the hell are they just undefeated? And they got to like their first loss after like I want to say week 11, week 12, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that next year, even though they had the drama, they still made the playoffs. And it was the year they lost to the Eagles, that even after the year before that where they beat the Niners in the Super Bowl, after all those ones win games, I can easily see that being the same scenario with the skies falling with the Broncos. And for some reason, the last couple of weeks of the season, they pick up fire and they go all the way. Because realistically, none of the teams in the AFC West scare me. Chargers, I think Justin Herbert's is approaching Trevor Lawrence fraud level, in my opinion. I think Justin Herbert's a fraud. I think honestly, I'd much rather have Trevor Lawrence right now than Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert is a fraud.
Lawrence does have a playoff win.
Yeah, exactly, and he has no like clutch gene or killer instinct. If you were to put him anywhere, he'd be the lowest character in Mario Kart. I'm just saying. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. But yeah, I still see you guys going all the way. It's 3 teams: it's Bills, Ravens, and it's Broncos. Chiefs are a couple years away. I feel like we're with the Chiefs. They're gonna go the way the Patriots were for like 10 years before they won their next Super Bowl. I guess in Seattle 5. I think we're approaching that territory with Patrick Mahomes, so it's going to be a minute before the Chiefs are back to being competitive.
Trent, your thoughts?
Well, the Chiefs actually went 12-0 in one-score games the year they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Eagles. Did they have good one-score games in that season before that?
Oh yeah, it was a fuckload of one-score games that they won.
It was both years.
One of the year that they won the Super Bowl, because that was the year they beat San Fran again.
Yeah.
That was the year.
I don't think it was a. No, I swear to God, the year they won all those one-score games, they got blown out by Philadelphia.
Yeah, that was the Eagles. They were 12-0 because it was in my video last year.
That's right.
But having said all that, we could. I think Broncos' floor right now, depending on Bo Nix, is like 9 wins.
Yeah.
10 wins. Ceiling. They got better on offense with Jalen Waddle.
Defensively, I'm still really waiting to see how the loss of John Franklin Myers affects that defensive line. I'm willing right now. I'm skeptical about it. Like Zach Allen, we know is an absolute monster. It's just who's going to be that guy next to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that looks like Malcolm Roach getting a bigger snap share, which it certainly could be, and I like Malcolm Roach. He's a guy that like I'm probably higher on than a lot of other people. I really like him as a run stuffer. Iuoma Uwazurike had some good moments last year too. We're really unsure what we have with Savion Jones at this point. And we're probably looking at like more snaps on the edge to Q Robinson or something if somebody like kicks inside.
Yeah.
No, you're good. I didn't have a ton after that.
I'm thinking, how many games did they win last year? 13?
13.
I say they go 12-5.
Oh, okay.
They're ceiling. I think they lose one more because they rest their starters at the end.
Maybe, yeah.
That's the only reason why. And maybe they get like a fluke loss to like a team, catches them off guard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
It's like I-
Avs. The Avs.
oh, the Avs got elimed.
No, they're down 2-0.
Oh, not my
Are you-
hockey team.
Not your hockey team?
Utah has a hockey team, brother.
Oh, you're a Mammoth fan?
Yes.
Imagine having a hockey team. Couldn't be Indiana.
Happy to see you in here, Sinbin.
What's up, Sinbin? Hope you're doing well.
But yeah, when it comes to the Broncos and like Eagles, they're the only two teams I can see realistically being able to consistently push for the playoffs again and again.
Mm-hmm.
My only issue is I don't trust Bo Nix's leg.
Ankle.
Well,
But
whatever they did
I-
to his ankles made his whole leg look awful.
Yeah, but if I've seen surgery where like things look bad, but they're not really.
I was gonna say again, like post-surgery swelling, I can tell you, like it is rough. I'm encouraged by it was more of a cleanup procedure, and they weren't actually like going in to refix anything. Because usually with those cleanup procedures, they're kind of just getting like little bone chips that could have been in there, or just like scar tissue or stuff like that. Realistically, I don't think it's the biggest thing to like trip out about, but I don't know. I'm willing to stick to my 11-6
I'm
on
going
that one.
12-5.
I
All
say
right.
either
Good.
11-6 or 10-7. Did I say 10-7?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Anthony, you were kind of in that range too, right? Of like 11-6.
I think the only team we didn't really agree on was the Colts.
Probably.
I think they're the biggest wild card out of everyone.
I think they are too. I think we had the mild disagreement of like I don't think I see the Eagles being like having that low of a floor as I think Anthony might have thrown out, or maybe it was Ender. I can't remember. All right, final segment before we get out of here, and you are going to have to give me screen sharing privileges again because I'm gonna pull back up the strength of schedule list because I want to do like a who got bailed and who got screwed by the scheduling gods here, and like I'm gonna leave our teams out of this because I think we've certainly set our pieces, but like league wide, like some of these are gonna be they're a little wild. Like I want to start with somebody that just like got absolutely cooked, and some of it's by nature of their division that they play in. But like Miami having the second hardest schedule is absolutely fucking bonkers, and I almost have to attribute that just solely to the fact that they play in the AFC East.
The poor Cardinals.
Dude, the Cards are so cooked. Yeah, they play in the West too.
And I don't even think the Cardinals have any primetime games. So for having the third hardest schedule,
And no
No
primetime
primetime
games to show for it that's funny.
The Dolphins.
I say those ones. I wouldn't say they're necessarily cooked because that's what you want. If you're the worst team in the league, you want to have the hardest schedules just so you go on so you get the first pick. If you scroll all the way up, Miles,
Where are we at?
right there. I will say the team that got the worst end of the stick. Let me cook for a second. Is the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is with the draft that's going to be next year, with all those quarterbacks, and you have the easiest schedule, I could easily see them picking up 7-8 wins and them missing out on a quarterback, and you have to run it back with Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is, what's it called? On Tim Tebow level. I don't think he's that great. He's average.
Dylan Gabriel is so mid too.
Yeah, so realistically, if I had to say a team that's
Did
cooked,
Gabriel get moved?
is Cleveland Browns, just because with the quarterbacks next year, they're going to miss on it, and there's going to be another 20 years of Cleveland Browns misery with the quarterback because, they should have kept Baker Mayfield, and Browns are going to brown, and they're going to mess up. So if I had to choose, it's the Cleveland Browns. They got shafted again, and you know what? That's their fault. No,
That's kind of where the Broncos were like in post Peyton Manning times, where like they were just good enough to like not really be picking good quarterbacks, but they weren't bad enough to actually pick good quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know?
Good.
You know that's you're saying Browns are gonna Browns. You know who the Browns got rid of in the '90s? Bernie freaking Kosar,
Bernie Kosar.
and that was actually Bill Belichick.
Oh wow.
If anyone from the Indianapolis Colts are watching, listen, I have a proposal. We tank for Manning.
Wait, you got your first pick, your first round.
Yeah, you don't even have the first. You
Fuck.
don't even have a first rounder.
Fire Ballard into the sun.
If you go 0-10, you're screwed.
That's so crazy.
We need to trade.
No, but the Jets are gonna have your pick. You better not go 0-10, Ender.
You're incentivized to start winning games, Buckaroo.
Oh God.
You're cooked.
That's so great.
Oh, I hate you, Ballard.
Oh my goodness.
I blame the Titans.
Okay. That's funny. I think KC still having the 5th hardest schedule is really funny for being a 4th place team.
Fuck
That
them.
accounts for the fact that they play in the AFC West. I just think it's really funny.
I
They
actually
deserve it.
I think that I have to agree. I'm not going to use Anthony's pick of the Browns, but I have to agree. Like when you want to lose and you have the easiest schedule, you're kind of cooked.
You're kind of
Yeah.
cooked.
I think the Saints having one of the easiest schedules is going to help them out.
Oh yeah. I don't know how hot of a take this is going to be, but I could very easily see New Orleans winning the South next year.
Mhm.
I think Tyler Shuck's a good quarterback, and I think they got him a little bit of help over the offseason. I like the idea of the New Orleans Saints right now. If I'm putting stock down on like buying pennies on the dollar stocks, I'm buying Saints stock right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't want to say anything good about the Saints because the last time we went to the Super Bowl, we lost to the Saints.
Wasn't that Tracy Porter?
Mm-hmm.
The Tracy Porter game. Could you
Scroll
scroll
down a little bit. Yeah, scroll down.
I wanna pick my
Sorry.
lose.
All right, where are we going?
I'm gonna say the Carolina Panthers kind of got cooked. This
Yeah, the Panthers are in a weird spot at the 23rd hardest, man. They're playing, and they are playing a first place schedule, and that's the thing. Like for as much of a wild card as I think the Eagles are going to be this year, like the Panthers go as Bryce Young does.
I hope
Like
right.
they are so he is so volatile.
I think that the Texans schedule is misleading.
The Texans.
I think they're going to be worse this year.
I think a lot of people think the Texans are going to regress this year, and I don't entirely disagree. It's really going to depend on CJ Stroud, and I don't know if you can fix whatever damage has been done to him over an off season. You know, the only thing that I think you can do with that is try to mitigate it with a better running game than they've had.
Yeah, and then you have another one with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 14.
They're just gonna do what they do every year.
But this time with Mike McCarthy.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm looking at it too. If I gotta say another team who's cooked, it's the New England Patriots. They go from one of the easiest schedules to one of the worst ones.
And
I mean, I don't know what's more cooked, their schedule or Mike Vrabel's marriage. One of the two. So I'm looking at, honestly, I can easily see the Patriots. They'll be good. Don't get me wrong, they'll be good. But their strength of schedule, I don't know.
I don't see them.
I don't think
I
they're
see
winning
them
the
maybe
division
doing
again.
enough to scrape into the playoffs. I don't see them doing enough to win the playoffs, though. I don't see them being an AFC championship team this time.
True.
Vegas over here having one of the hardest schedules.
True.
I I see Vegas, the Raiders, being a sleeper team this year.
No,
I
no, they're not. They're going to be top 5 pick.
I could almost see the Raiders going one of two ways, and this will probably be the last thing that I put out, like, legitimately. Like, I think they almost go like the 2015 arc, where like almost kind of what like I think of the Titans, where like they're going to compete this year, but I don't think they're going to win a ton of games. I like Clint Kubiak as a coach, though. I think I'm higher on him than Anthony might be, but it's either that or like the whole thing falls apart in the Raiders Raider.
I think 5.
They're going to be a scrappy team. They're going to be a scrappy, like, I say the team that they'll be is with the last season of Mike Vrabel with the Titans. We lost a lot of games, but we were scrappy. And I feel like that with the Raiders. They're not going to win a lot of games next year. They'll be like maybe the 4th seed or the 4th level draft pick or whatever you want to say. But I don't think they'll be good. But I think they'll be scrappy. It's just they're going to have Kirk Cousins start most of the year, then have the Mandalorian play. But no, that's what I'll leave it right now.
Yeah, I'll leave it.
With the Raiders, I see them taking and maybe being scrappy this year with Kirk Cousins, but next year I do see them being somewhat dangerous with Mendoza at the helm. Because if you watch Mendoza play college ball, he just doesn't miss.
Can't miss.
It's fair enough. I think we're good to leave it at that tonight, gentlemen. Been a hell of a Friday night. Hell of a stream with you, gentlemen. Got it. It felt good to get everyone in here.
We got the chat figured out, so that's
and we got the whole thing. We got StreamYard figured out in 30 minutes. It was outstanding. So to everyone out in the audience, thank you so much for watching, whether you're watching my stream, Ender's stream, or Trent's stream.
Real quick before we go,
what do you got?
What's everyone got planned?
I'm gonna go play hockey tomorrow.
I did like a Broncos season, like a deeper dive on the Broncos schedule in my last video. Next upload, I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll figure that out in the next couple of days.
Trent?
Yeah, Trent, what do you got? You out of here, Anthony?
Yeah, I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
See you, buddy.
AJ Brown video coming out. The kind of
shut up, dude. Damn. What?
There you go.
Hung up.
He did. He left the camera on.
He left it on.
Remove.
Yikes. We'll see you, San Paulie. It was good to see you.
I
Again,
have the AJ Brown synopsis, everything that's gone on. I have Adam from 5 Points Vids going to be doing a live interview 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday.
Nice.
Time. So that's what I have.
Hell yeah, man. Happy for you too. That'll be cool as hell. I got to start reaching out to more football creators. I honestly might reach out to you, Tree, somehow.
I actually had thought about that, but one at a time. I did have that interview with Josh from Philly Special. So
that's a cool video to go watch, by the way. That's a banger. I did go watch that.
I myself, personally, I think I have the Colts record in the season I want to upload here soon.
There you go.
And then I got a video on my main channel.
Nice.
Yeah, everyone go subscribe to Who's Your Sports Talk. He's getting his channel off the ground. Shit's cool.
I'm trying
this was his first stream. I was thinking about doing like a couple of look back videos on like some classic games. The one that I was thinking about was Broncos Cowboys 2013. I think that'd be a fun one to talk about. Maybe I'll reach out to maybe I'll reach out to Tree.
I'd say reach out to Tree, reach out to Perna.
Yeah, for sure. But no, again, like and subscribe to all of us. Helps us all out greatly in the algorithm, and we're all trying to kind of break into the football space on YouTube. But that being said, though, that is all I've got tonight on the Four Corners Show. So big shout to you guys. Love you guys.
Love y'all.
And
Peace.
We'll see you later.
We end the stream.